Hello everyone, very good morning and good evening. Welcome to our SAP QM overview sessions. I hope you all are able to hear me clear and loud. Can you please confirm quickly over the chat window if you are able to hear me clear and loud? Quickly on the chat window. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. So as you are here with the QM overview sessions, we are starting our batch for the QM, and it would be starting not from the Monday, we'll be starting from Wednesday or Thursday. Vasu would be confirming that. I would not be the trainer for the QM, but definitely when you are getting a bundle, in the bundle there would be some training called SAP Job Hunt Master, which will be from me. And I'm also experienced PPQM consultant. I have done a QM consulting for many years. I would also help you out if you're getting stuck somewhere in between. All right. So our trainer for the QM would be Vasu and Thiru. They would be the trainer, and I would be handing over this session so that they can provide you the overview. But before we go ahead, I will quickly share my experience with SAP QM. So 15 years ago, when I joined SAP Consulting as a PP, the first project which I got, they gave me a consulting project. It was an on-site opportunity. It was an implementation, and they also gave me QM. I never worked on QM. Even I don't know what is QM, what is inspection lot. So during that period, you know what happened? I realized that some of the modules like QM, PM, not the PM one, but specifically the QM one, it has been associated with the PP, and people will recognize you as a PPQM consultant कि अगर PP आता है तो QM तो कर ही लेगा. QM he will have to do. So it's a PPQM combination. And recently when I doing our success stories, with the success stories also we found that we have trained the people on PP, but the job requirement was there with PPQM. And when they updated their profile with PPQM as a PPQM, also they have added in your CVs, they saw the shower of interview which has been called, and even they were able to explain a little bit of QM, they got selected. Okay, so it's very important to learn the QM part also when you are PP consultant, because in many projects you need to work with QM also with PP, and QM is not a small module. QM itself is a big module. Okay, it's considered small because some companies there's a smaller implementation, but even it is a full-fledged its own module. Because of its less usage, only specific area it would be used. That's why it is combined with PP. And because it's low bandwidth consumed, that's why PP and QM, people who know both, and a requirement is there in a project where some part of QM need to be also handled. Maybe a 10 years of PP experience people would be put it at side if it does not have a QM experience. The people who has a QM experience, the PP plus QM together, even if you have 3 to 5 year experience, that would be giving more weightages. Okay, that's where the importance of the QM training comes. A lot of our PP people who has done a training in PP was following up from me that, sir, when the QM training is starting. And now we are also starting the QM training from next Wednesday, Thursday. The timing would be 6 p.m. India Standard Time to 7 p.m. It would be 1 hour session over the weekday. From Monday to Friday, it would be happening 6 to 7 p.m. India Standard Time. That would be the QM training timings. Now, you understand the importance of the QM and in the combination of PP. I would quickly introduce our trainer, Mr. Vasu, and Mr. Thiru. Vasu and Thiru would be our trainer. We have a multiple trainers by now. You have taken a training from Shastra Geek, so you might be understand that we try to bring more and more trainers to give you more flavors, and the people who are strong in particular area, they should talk on that area. If you have taken the Shastra Geek trainings, you might be now aware about that. So Vasu and Thiru would be the trainer for this training, and today overview also, some part would be covered by Vasu and some part would be covered by Thiru. I will be introducing Vasu, and I will let Vasu to introduce Thiru. So my association with Vasu is very long. He is also having almost same kind of experience like me, more than 15 years, and we also work on the same company, same consulting companies. So our association is quite long. We have worked into the different projects. So Vasu is one of which is experience in PP. He has also delivered some of our PP trainings also, and he has handled multiple projects in QM with Thiru. So when we look forward to have a QM training, I saw that these are the two best people to handle it, to drive it. So without wasting any time, let's quickly start our topic, and I'm handing over to Vasu. Vasu, over to you. You can unmute yourself.
Hey, I've just shared my screen. You guys can let me know.
Yeah, we can see your screen. We can see your screen. You can put it on full screen mode.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I have a multiple responses. Some people know PP and QM little bit. Some people know from the end user point of view. Some people know PP but does not know QM. So if you know the some of the basic modules, even if you don't know, you would be able to catch up in this training. Even if you don't know SAP, that can also still say that you would be able to catch up with this training, because we'll be starting, Vasu and Thiru would be starting from very scratch. So let's go ahead. Yeah, Thiru, please go ahead.
Yes, Parminder. Yeah. So thank you all for joining this session again. So yeah. So let's see what is quality management, right? So why people are asking, because I can also see that in my whole career, I'm seeing the huge demand in last 1 or 1.5 years for quality management, right? So why suddenly this demand? As Parminder early said, because people earlier thought that QM is a small module, and always they clubbed it. It is like PPQM, PMQM, MMQM. Like, who knows PP, they will also tell that they know QM, right? Because they know inspection lot and they know results recording, and they'll tell. Because later people realized to that QM is such a vast, and they cannot mingle like that, and when they face the customer, right? So because QM is a module that can be implemented as very small, also that can be stretched as a very vast module. It depends on the business, right? So later companies started hiring only specific to quality management. Okay. And also they try to dig how strong you have knowledge in QM. Even though you say I am a PPQM consultant, recently you might have seen the interviews. If you might have attended any PP consultant or any other MM consultant, they specifically look for QM, because in the market now we don't have a specific or the specific QM or person who has enriched knowledge on the quality management, right? Because many people knows only inspection lots and acceptance of like usage decision and stock postings from quality. So this is the reason why we have to learn quality management in depth and what it is, and we have to understand the basics. What is this quality management, and how the quality management process, or right? So why it is integrated too much with other modules. So if you take any business or any manufacturing business, the flow goes like this, right? So demand comes from the customer, and to fulfill that demand, the process will happen. Procurement means that might be a in-house made, or also it could be procured from outside. So the procurement comes. So once the procurement happens, we have to make sure, as a manufacturing company, they have to make sure whatever they procured is having good quality, right? So they have to inspect, and they have to make sure whatever they purchased is having good quality. Also they have to make sure the buyers from whom they are buying is having a good quality always, because it is not that every time they will go and inspect. If material is okay, they will accept. If material is not okay, they will reject. So there are also controls on vendors, that to make sure they are having good quality supply, right? So this is the inspection area when you procure any parts from the supplier. So this is one area where your quality will touch base and have more controls. Okay. So next, the material handling, right? So once you buy or once you make, you will be storing that in the inventory, and you'll be keeping in the, say, if in case of warehouse is there, or in case of a small storage, right? So there will be a handling. That means you will be storing and you will be issuing it to the production, or you will be selling it to the customer. So both case, the material handling will be there. So why at the material handling you have to inspect? Because your material will be stored. For example, you bought and you stored for a month, and suddenly production is asking that material to be issued for consumption. So at that case it would be suggested that, okay, you inspect and give that materials to production, or you inspect and allow it to be delivered to customer, right? So this is one, that material handling also relevant for inspection. Okay. And once, let's say, the bought out parts are issued to you, the production, right? So the production happens, and during production, right, during production, when the production is nothing but you make some part, or you assemble the components and you make your final product, right? So, or semi-finished product. So when you make, and you have to make sure that all the process, right, that you're following to make or to assemble the product is as per the standard. So because only then you can make sure your product is having good quality. If you do follow good process and standard, and your product will also have good quality. So that, to make sure that during production also there will be an inspection, and once the production is completed, there can also be an inspection. That because during production you might have inspected the process, that all the operators are doing correct process or not. And once the product is complete, there also will be an inspection, that okay, your final product that has come out of your line in your shop floor is having good quality. This will be a random sampling inspection. So there also will be an inspection. This will be called in SAP as a final inspection. Then this will be stored. Again, it goes to material handling. That means the final product will be stored in the inventory, and once that inventory will be, like the final product in the inventory will be sold to customer. So before you pick the delivery, that means before you try to ship out that product to customer, there also an inspection can be done. So throughout the life cycle, or throughout the process flow in any manufacturing, from the demands to supply, okay, you have inspection scenarios, right? So that is why this QM is vastly integrated throughout all the process. So, and that is why it also importance, it gains the importance from the customers when we go for implementation of SAP, right? So how the QM inspection process happens, right? So the inspection process will be triggered by some event, or it can be also triggered by triggered by, sorry, yeah, it will be triggered by an event manually, or it can also be triggered by some event automatically, or some analytical events. For example, if we take statistics process control, that there is a terminology in production process, SPC, they always used to say. Even if you have worked in any manufacturing industry, you might have heard. Otherwise, the statistic process control means, in any production process, specifically in any precision industries, they always used to capture the dimensions in the periodic basis. For example, if you are making a shop, and the shop dia should be of 2.5 mm, then this shop dia will be checked in the periodic manner, and that will be plotted as a graph, right, whether it is within the range, because every shop will not come within the exact specification what we give. For example, if we give 2.5 mm, then every shop will not be manufactured the machining by exact 2.5. So what people will do is, they will just plot, okay, for each five shop, one will be picked, and they will capture the dia for all the shop, and they see, okay, where this gap and how the tolerance level is changing. For example, I said 2.5 mm it should be, but it is giving 2.7, 2.6, 2.9. So taking this data, we can have a control in system that, okay, if it is going more than 2.9, then system will automatically triggers and control that, or control and alert that, okay, you just, there is a tolerance breach, and you can start re-inspect, yeah, and reset the machining for bringing it under control. So these are the analytical event, right? So planned event is something like that. For example, the materials, yeah, this material is you're going to purchase, and this material should have high importance, or these are the critical materials for your product. Then obviously you will plan early that, yes, this material should go with inspection. Without inspecting this, we cannot keep in the inventory, or we cannot allow this go to production assembly. So that is called planned event. We will plan earlier itself that this should go for an inspection. Unplanned means you just bought, and you might understand that, okay, this to be inspected, you can manually create an inspection lot, and also it can be inspected. So this is an unexpected event, yeah. So this is how your inspection process happens. So that means the triggering of inspection, right? So when the inspection should be triggered, and yeah, so request for inspection, there you can see that how much to be inspected, yeah. So for example, if you buy a product, right, so for example, you buy 100 quantity of some component, so nobody will check 100% until unless it is very, very critical item, right? So there will be a sampling process, right? So how to sample also will be defined in the system on material level. So if you know that this material is very critical, or this have a medium impact, so accordingly you can set the sampling process that, okay, if you buy 100 pieces, then you take 2 samples or 3 samples, or a percentage, like, and you take 10% of what you bought as a sample, and based on that, so you can pick the samples and you can inspect. Once you inspected, yes, the system will allow you to capture the results, right? So because data is very important, what you inspected and what you got, and based on data only the decision will be made. And this will be, data is, we know, right, data is very important for future reference, and that would be the only evidence based on what we take decision, right? So you can capture the results, whatever because whatever you inspected. For example, in our earlier case, we took dia as an example. So that diameter should be captured as a results. What was the dia when you inspected that component, or let's say the shop, for example, what was the dia of the shop when you receive, and those results can be captured. If in case the dimension what is specified, or what you already have as a specification for such a product, the dimension is, the dimension is out of the tolerance. That means 2.5 should be the dia, but when I received it, it was having 3.5 as a dia. So obviously that is a non-conformity that we cannot accept. So in that case, you can create a defect. That means in production, or in any manufacturing industry, we call it as NC, non-conformance, right? In SAP, we will create it as a defect, and there is a defect notification process. And finally, we take decision, yeah. So because when the defect comes, based on the product's criticality and other parameters, the production, manufacturing, and quality collaboratively, they take a decision that, okay, this we will accept, or we will go on deviation, or we will just ask supplier to replace. So they take such a decision through a usage decision and system. right? So as I could see that many of people are PP or some other modules, and few are from the non-background SAP. So the process is, we are buying something or we are making something in-house, and we are storing and we will sell them. So during this process we have to make sure this quality of the product. So we have to inspect, right? So to inspect and keep their record, because inspect and keeping the record is very important, right, in any manufacturing industry. So we will be, the SAP QM will allow us to inspect, to make sure the quality and capture the results and capture the defects what we receive, and handle the defects to disposition it, right? So when you receive a defect, what was the cause, and who was responsible, and how you solved those things to be recorded and kept as a document, because that is the important one. When you get the same defect, people will easily go and see, okay, what was the decision taken earlier and what was the solution given. So based on that, they can perform or they can proceed next time, right? So in system, in SAP QM, you can inspect, you can capture results, you can capture the defect, you can capture the decision what you took. So this is why we use SAP quality management, right? So in depth, we will be having a detailed sessions, right? What is QM and what is inspection, what you mean by incoming inspection when you purchase parts, or what is in process inspection when we make or when we manufacture a product, and what is inspection into delivery when we sell the product, right? Also, what are the quality notifications? One moment, let me put the content and I'll explain you what we will cover as part of this training. Okay. Yeah. So as part of this training, we will be covering the introduction of business process, which means out of SAP, what is quality management, right? How the quality management processes are, what are the inspection we will be conducting normally in any manufacturing industries, right? And basic intro about S/4HANA and SAP. What is the roadmap, or how far this SAP came from where to where? So what are their versions? So those details will be explained, and how this QM will be integrated with other modules, right? And what are the quality management master datas, right? Because master datas are the key factors to run your business. This is like a platform where you're running your applications, right? So master data is very, very important. Why it is? Because, for example, if you have a material that to be inspected, right? So that material should be there in the system. That material should have a plan. That means, what are the parameters that you are going to check for the materials, how many sample you are going to take, and what is the method that you are going to use to inspect that. For example, you take any layman, he doesn't know what to be inspected, how to be inspected, how many to be inspected. You're just giving a product to a person that, oh, hey, go and inspect this one. So he pick the product and he doesn't know what to inspect, and he don't know how many sample to take, and he don't know what are the parameters to be checked. So, or what is this process, or what is the standard process this company or standard procedure this company has to inspect this item. So to guide him, to guide anybody, right, or to guide system itself, we need to have this data predefined, right, predefined in SAP. That is called master data, right, in quality management. So that material to be created in the SAP system, that we will call it as material master in SAP. And what inspection type it should follow. So inspection types are nothing but the the kinds of inspections, right? So just to indicate that it is an incoming inspection, that means the inspection against a bought out item, or it is an in process inspection, the inspection against a make product, and the final inspection against the goods received from production, which means the final product, once it is ready, there will be an inspection. So to indicate this in system, we will have type, for example, 01 for incoming, 03 for in process, 04 for final, 05 for other goods receipts, like that. We will see that in details, what are the inspection types, or what are the kind of inspections that we have. So this is not something that is brought from directly from SAP, because these are the types that is there in any manufacturing industries. Okay, so that is just mapped in SAP. So inspection types are the codes that indicates what is the kind of inspection that you're doing, right? So inspection method, as I said earlier, it is a process or steps to be followed for any inspections, right? If you say that, okay, go and inspect the diameter of shaft, so just instead of telling this in one word, you can make a process. Okay, you have to check from here to here, and this shop, because in that product maybe one or two shops are there, then which shop to be inspected. So those kind of detailed steps can be given through inspection methods. This is also a master for each product and characteristics. You can create an inspection method and we can keep saved in the system. So that will, as we indicate this as a master data, this is a one-time activity, and whenever that product is being procured or produced, the same inspection method will be pulled and shown during the inspection. Okay, this is the step you have to follow. So that is the purpose of this inspection method. So the next one is quality info record. As I said in the very beginning, so when you procure something from a vendor, you should have a quality control on them, that to make sure that vendor is having a good quality of supply, so that is the purpose we use quality info record. In this info record, we will just make the combination of your material or vendor, and we could make some controls there, like releasing the supplier only for few months or only for few weeks initially. Then based on their quality level review, you can allow them to go for further procurement. And otherwise, if you don't feel the satisfaction of from their quality level, then you can close that supplier. That means you can, you can change their release date. That means you can allow only for 1 week, and after that, if suppose your buyers team try to create a purchase order to that supplier, system will not allow. So you will have a complete control on it. Or you can also block a supplier for some time from the procurement. So in detail, we will see what are the options we have in info record. But in general, this info record will be used to have a control on the supplier, right? So master inspection characteristics does nothing but the parameters that you are going to inspect for any product, right? So diameters, length, visual inspection, aesthetics, and damage, surface, something like this. So if you make sure, if you would like to make sure a product is having good quality, you have to inspect certain parameters on the product. So that parameters can be created as a master inspection characteristics and kept in the system, so that it will be a one-time activity. Whenever that product is purchased, the same parameters will be pulled and shown in the inspection. Okay, these are the parameters you have to inspect for this material to understand whether it is having a good quality or not, right? The next one is sampling procedure. Sampling procedure is to tell you how many sample you have to take, right? So for example, you bought 100 pieces, then in 100 pieces, should I check one piece to make sure this is having good quality, or should I check 5 pieces to make sure this is having quality? So a person doesn't know anything, right? Is a new person, or he might not have aware that, because there are hundreds of products will be procured every time in any manufacturing time, so they cannot keep in mind that, okay, I have to take this many sample, I have to take this many sample for this product. So to keep it simple and keep it in the systematic way, in system we can set a sampling procedure, so that whenever an inspection request or inspection lot is being created in system, that will automatically calculate the sample as well. So this will be predefined as a master data, okay, as a fixed sample or 100% sample, yeah, or a percentage sample. So based on that, system will automatically calculate the number of samples to be picked for any inspection. That is what your sampling procedure. The inspection plan. So this is the main and important master data. Why? Because this clips all your other master data. For example, which material to be inspected, what method to be used, what are the parameters to be checked, how many sample to be taken. All this information will be clubbed, and this will be linked to your material master. So when an inspection request created, you just check, okay, for this material, what is the inspection plan we have? That inspection plan will be completely copied to an inspection request to guide you. So that is why this inspection plan gains more importance, because your other master data are also important, but they are all separate. They cannot work individually, or they cannot contribute any support to you individually. So they will club with inspection plan, and inspection plan will be assigned to your material. So inspection plan is the one that is being copied always when the inspection request or inspection lot is created, right? So we will also discuss our during our training that how this master data are being created, what are the mass options that we have to upload them. Because if you take parameters, or if you take inspection methods, or sampling procedures or inspection plan, they will be most of the case material specific, or at least a group of material specific. So you will be having huge volume of data, right? So upload creating manually is not a viable solution. So you always have to have a mass upload. So we would also see how the mass upload can be done for any QM master data, right? So again, we will be seeing the business processes in quality inspection, because the first one we said business process in general, that what are the inspection process that we have in any manufacturing sector. Then we will see what are the inspection processes that we have in SAP. That means what are the inspection process that has been already mapped in SAP, in the standard SAP. Then we will also see what is modification rule, dynamic modification rule. Okay, and we will be also covering what are the configuration to be done to make sure this quality management module in SAP is working. So configuration is nothing but this is for the joiners who is not having any background experience on SAP. So the configuration is nothing but it is the settings that to make sure your application is working correctly, or the QM modules functionalities are working correctly, are working as per the customer needs, right? So if you take any mobile app, you will be having a settings where you can set few things, and based on your settings system is, or your application will work. So that is how this SAP is also having a configurations. So for few process, you can use the configurations, and you can also customize for your needs. Let's say they have given 4 options, that 4 options which you need for your business, right, for the customer business, accordingly we can customize. That is the activities of configuration in the SAP system. We will also see in details what are the various configuration options for the various business process that we have. So we can also see those configurations during our training. And how this is integrated, this SAP QM module is integrated with major processes like procurement, or during manufacturings, or for the calibrations of equipments, and integration with sales, right? So we cover majorly integration with procurement, integration with manufacturing, how it integrates with sales, right? Also how it is integrated with plant maintenance for calibration of components. So we will see in detail how this integration happens from SAP QM to other SAP modules. And we will also see the quality certificates. Oh, so quality certificates is that, so whenever you make a product and sell to customer, right, you customer will be asking a test certificate, or the product conformity, yeah, final conformity, that they call it as certificate of conformity, that making sure all your inspections are done and all the inspection results were satisfied and product is having a good quality. So this kind of certificates will be requested by customer, yes, to make sure that you followed the process and inspected, and you captured the results, and finally you are saying that is having good quality. So this certificates process also will be, we will see. And we will cover both incoming certificate and outgoing certificates. Incoming certificates, it's the same way. When you're submitting, you're selling your product, you're going to submit some certificates to the customer. Same way, when you buy some component from the supplier, we will also request to submit the certificates from them. So we can also see this process, how we are receiving the supplier certificate, how we can store them, and how that can be referenced for future. So I can also cover the incoming certificates and the embedded analytics and reporting. So once we started using S/4HANA, we talk about this analytics, embedded analytics, into a large extent, because nowadays the processing of data, processing of data is increased to a large extent, and it is also giving a lot of benefits, we know, because see, the data is very important. So in S/4HANA, we have huge capability of getting the data and analyzing it quickly and making it in different charts, right, or in different pictorial views, and we can see quickly and we can understand what is this and how much you received. For example, in the inspection areas, how much lots you received, how much you accepted, how much you rejected, how many defects created, and what were the defects, and what were the maximum defects that is created in last month. So you can break data like this and you can analyze, and this will be happen in quick manner. Like, just if you execute the report, it pulls all the details and it shows you in the graph, yeah, in the pictorial view. So, or in bar charts or pie charts, or whichever chart type you need, you can just quickly make it to the presentation. So that is called the analytics, embedded analytics. So we will also cover what are the embedded analytics that we have, embedded analytics related reporting that we have in SAP QM. We will also see them. So finally, we will also see how the quality notification process happens in SAP QM. That means whenever a defect created, that defect life cycle to be captured as a document in SAP. So it is not only a SAP in SAP, because this is the requirement in any manufacturing industry, right? Any manufacturing industry. So because whenever a defect created, that defects to be documented, and that defects to be communicated to the relevant people, that defects to be discussed, that defects to be reviewed, that defects to be uh, uh, reviewed, and decision to be taken to close that defect, right? So to cover all this life cycle of any defect, we have a quality notification in SAP. So this quality notification, also we will cover how this quality notification process works. Whenever a defect created, how the notification will be triggered, what are the options that we have in the quality notification to capture your defect related activities, and the defect related discussions, and also how you capture the cause code. That means what is whenever you analyze a defect, you will also have a cause. So how you capture those cost details in the quality notification, how you can take decision from your quality notification, and how you're capturing the decision as a document in your quality notification. So all this in detail we will be able to see during our training sessions. And so yeah, obviously defect will be there in every inspection process, when you procure, when you produce, when you do sales. Yeah. So also we will cover what are the settings that we can do for various business scenarios related to this quality notification, right? The configurations of quality notification, right? Also we will see vendor evaluation, how the vendor evaluation happens based on the quality parameters, because the vendor evaluation is happens based on how they supply, how they are costing, how was their quality level, right? So in that, quality is also one parameter to evaluate your supplier. So we will also see how the vendor evaluation can happen in system. In short, vendor evaluation means whenever, for example, you procure a part, that part basically you have 2 3 vendors you can buy from. You already have 2 3 vendors with you, and you are not sure which vendor should go at this moment. So what you have to do is you have to analyze how their supplier was, how was their costing, that means who is giving in less cost, and how was their quality level, right? So to keep this process simple, to keep this analysis simple, we can also set up this process in SAP. So system will automatically pick all the background data. So how many inspections so far happened, how many lots we received, how was their delivery time, how was their cost. So everything system can compare, and system tell, okay, go with this supplier. So this is called vendor evaluation in SAP. So that also we will see how the quality part is contributing to vendor evaluation. Then the quality level. So quality level, what it is. So for example, you are buying a part from a supplier, and that supplier is always giving a good quality. So in this case, system, you can tell system that, okay, if supplier is giving 10 lots with good quality, that means there was no rejections for past 10 lots, then go to no inspection or reduced inspection. That means instead of checking 5 samples, you check only 1 sample and accept. Or the vice versa, if your supplier is giving bad quality in last 2 3 lots, then system will automatically increase your sample size, and make your quality process stringent. So that is the tighten quality level. So this is the purpose of quality level. In SAP we call it as a dynamic modification, right? So how it should be changed, that will be defined in the dynamic modification rules. So for example, last 10 lots to be checked for this material, or last 5 lots to be checked to change the quality level. So that is what the quality level. And first we will see in detail how this quality level change is working along with dynamic modification rules. And quality process with the EWM. Right. So this EWM, embedded warehouse management, has been recently brought by SAP, I would say in 2-3 years back, and still they are evolving and they are improving this warehouse management, because earlier to this there was only warehouse management. So they later, because and later to that there was decentralized warehouse, then now they made it as embedded warehouse. So why we have to see this EWM separately? Because the behavior, how it happens, or the inspection process, how it happens in the IM, that means inventory management. That means if you take SAP as a box, right? SAP as a box. So in one box, you also have storage capability. That means you buy, you store, and you retrieve the stock and you sell. All happens in one single system or one single server, that is in one box. That will be called as IM. Inventory management will be there in a single box along with other modules. And EWM earlier was a decentralized one. That means SAP sold it as a separate product where it can be integrated, or sorry, interfaced with other SAP products. So, and later now SAP has embedded this to a one box. Okay, just try to embed, I would say, just try to embed in one box. And so now the processes what we follow for incoming inspections or the final inspection along with EWM is a bit different compared to IM. So that is why we have to see separately how the inspection process happens with EWM. Okay, so
I will just add here, there are a lot of participants who are looking for, I'm getting a lot of queries from last 2 weeks because we are also starting a EWM training and we are starting a QM training. So a lot of people are looking for both EWM and QM, and they are eagerly looking for an integration between EWM and QM. And I'm really happy to see that topic included in the curriculum. That's a quite advanced topic, how the QM would be integrated with EWM. So I think that would be benefiting a lot of people, and the people who are going with the EWM training that's happening on the weekend and the QM training that's happening on the weekdays. After doing both of the trainings, you would be able to propose yourself as an expert in the EWM and QM integration, and that would be kind of a niche profile which will get developed. Yeah, Thiru, please go ahead. I just want to add, because I have a lot of audience here who was looking for both QM and EWM, so I thought of adding it. Please go ahead.
Yeah, no issue. So yeah, that's what. So this is different, and also as I said, SAP itself evolving, and they are keep improving this area, because if you are already a consultant in SAP, you might be knowing, because though it is integrated or embedded, but still it is communicating as a separate box, right? So still it is communicating through an interface internally. So we have to do a lot of settings to integrate this tool, and there are few issues or two process issues that we are not able to map completely. So we will discuss all those details, what are the issues that we have and how we can tackle that, or what are the workaround that we have to solve that issue and make the business process running. So this will help for the consultants, so how when they really face any implementation to any customers, so they can use this information. So that also we will cover during our training. And the non-conformance management, so this is also an advanced topic that SAP had brought, and this is a kind of replica for your quality notification process, or I would say kind of advancement that they have done in the quality notifications. That they brought a new concept, that non-conformance management. and we have few different apps where you can capture your defect separately for products. That means in a simple way, right? So you no need to, because earlier, okay, this I don't want to go for comparison because I could see many people are not having knowledge as well in SAP, or might not knowing QM, because this is just a comparison from quality notification to non-conformance management. They just simplified the how the quality notification process was earlier and now. So there was tedious, I would say, or complex process when you create notification and create defect notification and capture the documents and close the notification. It was having multiple steps. Now they tried to simplify that process by having non-conformance management as a separate box. So where they can quickly create defect, quickly assign that defect to somebody and quickly close without having any detailed analysis. If at all they want to analyze, have a detailed analysis, what was the cause, who was responsible, and how many defects happened earlier, and what should be the action, who has to approve. So instead of going all those things, just identify a defect, create defect, assign to the person directly. Okay, hey, just check and solve this problem, then he solve and defect closed. So you can do it in that simpler way. So that is why they brought non-conformance management in SAP QM. So this, yeah, this also we will see how it works. Yeah. So this is all about the training contents that we are going to deliver.
I will just add on. Thiru has explained the content in very deep and depth. That's great. I will just add on that this training would be happening on SAP S/4HANA 2021 server. That is the latest server. You would be having access to Fury, and you will also be having access to the GUI. Both access would be given.
Yes. So people who doesn't know GUI and Fury apps, so GUI was the earlier version of SAP, and Fury apps, the latest version that SAP brought in. So to give the comfort to user like your mobile apps, right? So because nowadays people, you know, I would say having more interest to using app instead of going through any transaction or going through any URL. Now just click on the app. Yes, you'll be reached what you need. So that is how SAP is also designed to have a Fury apps. So where it has Fury apps for each of your operation. Just click, okay, you want to create inspection lot, okay, go to click on the create inspection lot app. And you want to create, you want to do a GR, you just click on post goods movement app. So for each of the every operation or functionality that they created apps, so that is what the Fury apps. For all the reports and each transactions, you will have separate apps. Earlier days, if you know little bit about SAP, we used to use the command box where we will enter the transaction codes, right? Okay, this are okay, you put this transaction code, then you go for inspection lot work list, okay, like that. So you have to remember a lot of transaction codes. Now SAP has changed that way and made much easier. That is what your Fury apps are. So we will also see them in the details, how you use Fury app, what is Fury Launchpad, and what are the options or settings that you can do in your Fury Launchpad during our training.
Thank you, Thiru, for
Yeah.
taking it next step for explanation.
Yeah.
We have few questions on the chat. Sachin has one question. Please include some sessions so that we can write FSD easily. So Sachin, two things I will comment. I have just shared the link of our bundle, sastrageek.com/QM. So in this bundle, you would also be getting a training of SAP Job and Mastery. So under the Job and Mastery, there is a particular section is there where we have explained how to write the function specification. What are the RICE-FWs for reports, interfaces? Even we have also explained BAPIs, BADIs, IDOCs also. These all information would be useful to write the function specification. So this is a bundled course, bundled link we are giving it to you. So apart from this training, which is a 35 hours of training, you would be getting additional bonus material, which is more than, I would say, 150 hours. right? That bonus materials you will be getting it. So in that job and mastery, a full section is there for the function specification, from where you would be able to go through and understand how to write function specifications. It is covered in very much of detail. But I would request Thiru, maybe we can add in this one some 15-20 minutes and sharing couple of examples in QM specific function specification that we can give here in this training, right?
Yes, definitely. We'll include. We'll just give a glimpse of them. What is FS and
Yeah,
how
what is
we can
FS
write.
and other thing we have covered in detail in SAP Job and Mastery. If we
Mhm.
can just give an example of a QM report, QM enhancement, QM integration, maybe 3 examples we can give. I think that would be good for people to understand what kind of requirement would be there and how to write a FS. What is FS? That has been covered in SAP Job and Mastery that
Great.
people can go through from there.
Great then. Yeah, we'll include them. Not an issue.
So you can keep on putting your questions in the chat window. Thiru, do we have anything else to show, or can we go for question and answers?
We can go for question and answer.
Okay, so you can keep putting your questions in the chat window here, and once we complete the chat questions, I would also be giving you access to unmute yourself. Ashutosh has a question: Is there workflow for non-conformance management in S4? Thiru, can you take this
Yes.
question up?
Yeah. So we have a standard workflow for this, and completely standard. We no need to do any customization, sorry, any enhanced workflow. So we have standard workflow for all the activities that we do in non-conformance. That means you create defect, create notification, release notification, and complete notification, assign task, assign release task to anybody. So all will be having a workflow, but this workflow will not go for approval, right? So this workflow is just for the purpose of triggering the email. Okay, so the moment, for example, if you create any NC, create any quality notification and assign a coordinator, then this coordinator will be notified in his email that okay, this quality notification is created. Or in advanced, now what they have done in Fury is there is a Fury inbox. Okay, in my inbox there is an app called my inbox. So if you activate the workflow for this quality notifications, whatever activity triggered, that means if notification created and assigned to me in my inbox, I can go and see that okay, this notification is assigned to me. So in such a way they designed. So always if you use my inbox, all the notifications will directly come to my inbox. Yes, and it's clear.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Thiru, for explaining in detail.
Yeah.
Next question we have from Narendra. When the PP batch starts from, and can I go QM module after the PP module finishes? So Narendra, you can go in parallel. So if you are looking for PP, I would say you go ahead with the QM first, because PP batch, the mastery batch to PP right now is going on, and it will be finishing in the month of May. So June and July, I would be running excellence to PP, okay, which is an advanced course on PP. And August again will be starting a new batch for PP. We'll be starting it again. So what you can do, you can go ahead and do the QM first, and by the time this QM will finishing it, PP will also start up. And if you want to do both of them parallel, because they both work hand in hand, you can do. As soon as you subscribe our PP product, you will be getting all of the recorded videos and full content assigned to you, so that you can go through the recorded contents by the time we are starting a new batch, new gamified session for PP. Okay, now I'm also giving an unmute access. If the people want to unmute yourself, you would be able to unmute it now. Yes. If anyone wants to unmute and ask any questions on SAP QM about this training, or anything you have in about QM you want to ask it about the career opportunities and other things, you can feel free to ask now.
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, hi, good morning, Narendra. How are you?
Yeah, fine, sir. Sir, actually, I'm keep on asking you in the last meeting itself also. I'm expertised 13 years of experience in production plant. So I want to switch it to SAP. I'm having end user experience of 5 years. I want to switch to PPQM side SAP consultant.
Okay, okay. So what you can do, Narendra, you want to switch to PPQM. Why do I suggest that you should do both PP and QM? Because when you do both, you would be open to a wider range of requirement which is available, and all the requirement where the PP and QM both are required, and many requirement would be like that. When you will be seeing the job description, it would be mentioned that it's a PPQM, PPQM. So that's why I suggest all of the my people who are getting trained on PP to also get trained on QM. So both would be required, and this would be easy switch. And believe me, these kind of modules, PP and QM kind of modules, are very hot selling products. I have hardly any student from the PP module who is not getting placed. Okay, even we need not to put any effort. They go through the job and mastery. They prepare their CV, they apply it, and quickly even the results are coming in 2 to 3 months. So what I would suggest you subscribe for both PP and QM. PP sessions are happening on Monday, Monday evening happening. Once we'll be having a QM batch start, the PP timing would be 7:30, and then one session happen for PP over the weekend. Okay, so still few sessions are remaining because you already have a planning experience. Let's say if you join the today's session of PP, we are covering the planning strategies, so you would be able to understand it. It will not bounce away from your head, and then you can start going through the content which we have provided, the recorded content. You can go through it, and parallelly you can also go through the QM. So you will get some part of the PP now, and then focus more on QM. And after 2 months, when we are starting again a new gamifier session of PP mastery, then you would be by that time you would already be going through the video, so it would be very quick start for you. You would be straight away coming into the session with your questions. And we also have a Telegram groups, dedicated Telegram group we have for PP. We'll be creating a dedicated Telegram for QM. Even though you are going through the recordings, if you have some questions, you can quickly put on the Telegram group, and there are the multiple people, consultants are there in the Telegram group to help you with the queries.
Sure. So is it right time to switch to SAP? Sir, I'm having already 13 years of experience in direct PP unit. Is it correct decision?
Yes, it's very much correct decision. The ideal time we see that it's a 6 to 7 years is ideal time, but for some modules like PP, where a lot of weightage has been given to your industry experience, right? It's very much of right time, but it's not about the right time. You are having 13 years of experience. If somebody comes to me, he has a 17 years of experience, I would be saying that it's a right time. It's not about it's not only about your experience, it's about the timing.
Yes.
Right now, there's a huge demand in the market. So the demand right now we were expecting 2 years ago, but due to COVID, everything has switched to 2 years. So right now the market is damn hot. The people who are applying, I was having one guy with the basic, he just done the basic learning, and when he updated the CV, in a week he's getting a 5 to 6 of interview calls. Okay, because right now because of the S4 HANA coming into the picture, a lot of projects has been starting, and a lot of migration projects require a lot of consultants. And PP and QM, these are the niche skills. It's hard to get good resources in this area. So rather than your 13 years of experience, this year and the next year is beautiful to enter into SAP because of the shift happening from ECC to S4 HANA.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Sure, Narendra.
Yeah. Hi, Praminder.
Hey, hi, Sachin.
Yeah. So, Praminder, I have a question because I'm interested to learn EWM because the thing is that EWM is now integrated with PP. And if I understand the terminology like the single order staging and the cross order staging, these kind of concepts, if I understand it, it will be better for me. So I have attended the demo session for EWM. So the thing is that in the description mentioned that you are going to provide the like the certification questions related to EWM. But the thing is that actually I'm currently working in PPQM. So I believe that if you can provide the certification questions related to PP, that will be useful for me, because I am planning to like do certifications in the upcoming months.
Yeah, so we have all of these courses. We have a QM course, we have EWM course, we have a PP course. All of these courses we sell in bundle. So if you will see the PP bundle already included PP certification questions. Not even the certification questions. We are also, because we don't call them as a dump, we call them as a practice exercises. We are
Yes.
also adding videos to them so that you would be able to understand why this question is right or wrong. So that process is keep on going. We have started with we have started with PP, and we'll started with the other modules also. So PP certification question is a separate product itself. If you buy a PP bundle, you get that. Otherwise, you can also purchase PP certification question separately also.
Okay. Okay. And one more question, like in the PP session, whether you covered the topics related to variant configuration or not?
Yeah, variant configuration has been covered in PP Excellence. So we have almost 3 to 4 hours of training on variant configuration in PP Excellence. Okay, that give you a kickstart into the variant configuration, even though we also have delivered around 25 to 30 hours of trainings in variant configuration. That is for the corporate who require specific. But these trainings which we are giving in Excellence, this is between 3 to 4 hours of training on the variant configuration. That is good enough for a PP consultant to give a kickstart, and you would be working on the projects where the variant configuration need to be used. So variant configuration is part of PP Excellence training. We have two trainings, PP Mastery and PP Excellence.
So it means PP Excellence covers the advanced topics, right?
PP Excellence covers the advanced topic, your DDMRP, predictive MRPs, Fury application, end-to-end cycle with the Fury, variant configurations, co-products, byproducts, these kind of advanced topic we have put it in Excellence.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Overview of PPDS, MRP Live, these all would be in Excellence.
Okay. And is there any offer provided by your organization if we buy both the like EWM and QM?
Yeah, so we are very fair. The prices are what you see. Everyone has the same prices. If somebody buys more than one bundle together, it's a 10% off. So that's a very fair and same deal for everyone. So if you're buying two things together, two bundles together, you will be getting a 10% off. You can drop an email to support@sastrageek.com and they would be helping you with the specific link to buy both bundles together.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, Parminder. This is Syed here.
Hey, hi, Syed.
Yeah. Parminder, what is the difference between PP Mastery and PP Excellence?
Yeah, Syed, the difference between PP Mastery and PP Excellence, PP Mastery is the course where basically anyone who want to cross-train himself on PP, or anyone who want to start his first job as a consultant as a SAP PP. So anyone who does not have any consulting experience in SAP PP, or who is having less than 3 years of consulting experience in SAP PP, if they want to learn PP, they should start learning with the PP Mastery. PP Mastery is our core training where we go into the deep of the configurations, deep of the master data, deep of the end-to-end processes, planning strategies, planning algorithms. All the core things of PP is covered in the PP Mastery. Okay, so that is a PP Mastery. Then we have a PP Excellence. PP Excellence is majorly course who has already done the PP Mastery, or people who are having more than 3 years of experience in working as a PP consultant. So in PP Excellence, we are touching base on the new advanced function and features which has been introduced with S4HANA, like new MRP area concepts, MRP live concepts, DDMRP concepts, predictive MRP concepts, overview of PPDS. So those all advanced function and features has been put it into the Excellence. Okay, so if you have not worked as a SAP PP consultant, direct jumping into the Excellence is not good. First, you need to do Mastery. If you're already working as a PP consultant and have more than 3 years of experience, you can directly jump to PP Excellence to learn advanced function and features.
Okay, if I buy this excellence or mastery course, if I opt for any one of them, will I get bundle for both?
So we have a bundle for mastery. We have a bundle for excellence. Two different bundles are there, which is covering different things. Excellence bundle, now we are introducing more trainings. You will get a PP excellence training. Then I have a separate training for A to Z of Fury for functional consultant. I have a separate 13 hours of training on the migrations so that you can understand how the migrations would be happening. So that separate training would be there. So that is the excellence bundle. With mastery bundle, you will be getting a job and mastery. So there are the two separate bundles are there. If you can buy, if you want to buy both of the bundles together, then you to drop an email to support@sastrageek.com. They would be helping you out.
Okay. You said the MRP area concept is available in only in S4 HANA.
No, I said that the changes in the MRP area concept. So MRP area, we already covered in mastery also.
Okay.
The changes in the MRP area, they are the changes in the MRP area in S4 HANA. So that would be covered in excellence.
Okay. Okay, Praveen. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Let me check. There are a few more questions. I have a question from Aisha. I already enrolled for the mastery for SAP S/4HANA sourcing and procurement bundle. Will you have a live session of our MM? I keep getting so many emails for live session and I don't know which one to focus on. So Aisha, whenever you join our trainings, on the top itself, there is a Telegram group, right? So there is a dedicated Telegram group for MM, for sourcing and procurement training, which you have taken. So Aman or Bhupender, please help Aisha if she is not enrolled to the Telegram group, dedicated Telegram group for sourcing and procurement. So you need to follow that Telegram group. All the notification you would be getting it from there. Even we are also sending a WhatsApp notification, and we are also sending a calls. If you are in India, you would be receiving a calls when the session start, if your number is updated, and you would also be receiving the WhatsApp notification if you are outside India. We are going to have a starter session. That kind of notification would be there so that you don't miss the sessions. So please drop an email to support@sastrageek.com. They will quickly check whether your number is correctly updated so that you get the correct notification on the WhatsApp or the calls. And please join the Telegram group. There is a dedicated MM Telegram group. It has all the information when we are having a session. So we have a sourcing and procurement mastery session. Currently we are it's happening over the weekends. Aisha has one more question. Do you know companies in the US that take entry-level associates? I'm about to graduate college and want to get a position as soon as possible. So US market works after the graduation. It works on the internship mode, right? So you need to look for the internship. Once you do the graduation, we also have internship programs. You can drop an email to support@sastrageek.com so we can introduce to the internship program. And after the internship program, I would be guiding you that what kind of jobs you can look for. If you are a fresh graduate in US and Europe, SAP is helping a lot of candidates. We have many. The fresh graduates not only becoming SAP consultant, but there is a huge demand in US and Europe in the operations job. In the procurement job, they prefer the people who have a SAP knowledge, right? So you should be looking for that jobs initial after doing a graduation. You should be applying for the companies which has SAP implemented, and they prefer the people who has SAP experience. So go through the SAP job and mastery, prepare your CV accordingly. Okay, and we would also be sending your CVs to the US companies who are looking for the freshers. Okay, prepare your CV as we have guided, and starting first to 2 years, look for the jobs where you would be working in the operations where the SAP is there. There's a lot of demand for those kind of jobs, and then try to switch after 1.5 to 2 years to become a business analyst or to become a SAP consultant, SAP sourcing and procurement consultant, where you will be working in a consulting, helping the clients to implement SAP. You can ask right now. We have both Thiru and Sachin. If you have any query related to QM, feel free to ask it. Ashish Rizwani, thank you for mentioning that you got a great jump in the job from the job and mastery. I'm keep on telling people that job and mastery is a very important training. The other places nowhere it is available, and the kind of course content it is that it should be charged at rupees 60 to 70,000. But what I understand that people at this place is looking for the jobs and better opportunities. So we are giving it as a bundle. So in the bundle, when the training has been given, make sure you complete the job and mastery. That will definitely help you to get a job in. Thank you, Ashish, for mentioning that. Sayed, this trainings would be the QM trainings from 6 p.m. IST. Okay, Ashish is working as a technical architect now. That's great, 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 Ashish.
Parminder, it will be better if it is 7 because our office timings will be till 6. It may extend for 20-30 minutes extra. That's the reason I asked. Okay.
Okay, we'll communicate you. We need to check with the Thiru and the other participants, because our training majorly we focus on the availability of the trainer. So it's very hard, you know, there's a trainer which they are working into the multiple projects, and getting their time is very rare. Getting a good trainer time is very rare. So generally we try to focus at what time the trainer is available and he is flexible. Based on that time we provide, but I will again cross check based on your request.
Yeah, at least if it is between 6:30 to 7:30, it would be fine.
Okay, we'll check that.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi Pravinder.
Hi Sachin.
Yeah, so yeah, one more question. So like as you know, like we will learn the QM in detail during the training session. But the thing is like after the completion of this training, so if we have any kind of doubt, then how can we ask? Is there any community created by you related to
Yes. So
like
we
separate
have,
modules?
I always tell the people that we have moved out of the old school ways of giving a training in the batches. So we always give the community access. So you would be having a 1-year access to community. In 1-year access, generally what we are including, you would be having a Telegram group. Telegram group is not for 1 year. Telegram group is forever. We are not removing anyone from the Telegram group. So that community you would be having, where basically you would be able to ask your questions. If you have any questions and doubt, you would be able to ask it. And not asking the questions, even a lot of people who is getting benefit, they are in the community, they are also responding to the other questions. So being experienced people, they answer the questions, and they ask the question and they also answer the questions. So that's kind of community access will be given to you. And we'll try to give you access. We'll try to give you access for year to join the live batches. Even if we are having another live batch, we allow our students to join the next live batch also within a year.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Vasu,
so adding to that, Sachin, like every concept we cover, say master data topic, if we have covered, we will be going for a recap session in which we will be concentrating more on the topic which is already covered, and we will be kind of discussing on the questions you have, so that that will help us and give us the confidence to move to the next topic. So we will ensure that whatever topics covered, before going to the next topic, we are good with the questions. So that's the plan.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So batches will be started from Monday onwards, right? Monday to Friday.
No, not the Monday. Vasu, have you confirmed? Is it Wednesday or Thursday?
It will be Wednesday or Thursday. I can give you a confirmation by tomorrow, or by today.
So let's confirm by end of today. So we'll confirm you either Wednesday evening or Thursday evening will be starting. It is not starting from Monday. That has been confirmed. By Wednesday evening or Thursday evening, we'll get it started. We'll confirm by end of day today.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
We'll do that.
Sure. Okay. Anyone has any other question? Yeah, Sayed, we will also confirm the time. Thank you for reminding. Kaustubh has a question. Have you covered QIE, Quality Inspection Engine part in this training? Are we covering QIE, Thiru?
No,
For
Amrinder,
first time.
because that is outdated now. Because we are not using quality inspection engine separately. Because quality inspection engine is being used when there was decentralized arrows, and also when QM was using as a separate product, right? So now it is not there, and in the future also quality inspection engine will not be used much. So we are not covering that.
Okay, okay. Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah.
I hope Kaustubh will answer your questions. Okay, I don't see any questions. I will just give last 15 seconds if anyone wants to ask some last question, and then we'll be ending this session here. Okay, so we don't have any further questions. So we are ending our session here for now. We'll be catching you in our QM trainings starting from Wednesday or Thursday onwards, right? We'll communicate you. Thank you everyone for joining today. We'll catch you again. Make sure that on tomorrow morning, we are having a step-up circle. And in the step-up circle, I'm covering the data archiving part, that what is the data archiving, what is its importance, what are the steps are there for the functional consultant, so that you have an overview on the data archiving. So make sure you join that session. It's tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. IST. Not tomorrow, it's Monday morning, 7 a.m. IST. Sorry, it's Monday morning, 7 a.m. IST. Thank you for joining today, and goodbye for now. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Param. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you,
all.
Vasu. Thank you, Thiru. Bye.